It is recording. Okay, guys, we are on. We're live. So 4:29. Tomorrow's Landon's birthday. Yeah. He's gonna turn 16. He's gonna be able to drive. I know. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is the recursive formula. So what we've been doing, and the words aren't so important, but what we've been doing is this. We've been taught, what we've been doing is the explicit formula. Okay, the explicit formula has ends in it. So the recursive formula kind of describes the sequence. Okay, and to have a recursive formula, you need two things. You always need two parts. You have to know the first term. You must know the first term because you need to know where to start. And then you need a rule. Okay? So it's different. Prior to this, we would just say we'd get a formula. We'd plug in 1, we plug in 2, we plug in 3, plug in 4. This one's different, okay? So let me show you how it works. Okay? You must always state the first term, and then you have to make the next. So example 1 is different. So here it is. You state the first term, A1. So you have to know where to start. And then you start making it, okay? So A of n equals a to the n minus 1 plus 6. Now, a to the n minus 1, this term a to the n minus 1, is going to be our previous term. And I'm going to really go through this slowly so you can see it, okay? All right, on the side. You guys ready for a little side work? Okay, a little side work. A1 is 4, correct? Let's go through this slowly for you, okay? So, what we want to do is make the next term. We've made the first term, so let's make the second term. So, to make the second term, we're going to let n equal 2, right? Because we need the second term, okay? So, we're going to use our little formula to do that, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my formula to do that, okay? So, if n is 2, I'm going to make A2. A2. So I'm going to put 2 right there, and I'm going to put 2 right there, okay? If n is 2, I'm going to put 2 right there for n, and I'm going to put 2 right there. So A of 2 then is equal to A to the 2 minus 1 power plus 6, okay? I just plugged 2 right in for n. Okay, we want to make the second term, let n be 2, okay? So then A2 is equal to A1 plus 6.
So that would be 4 plus 6.
Yes! We know A1, don't we? A1 is 4. You guys agree? So it's really A of 2 then is equal to 4 plus 6, which is 10. Okay, so far I've got 4, comma, 10, right? So let's make the third term. So let's make the third term. So to make the third term, A of 3. So in this case, n is 3, right? Let's make the third term. So let's just plug it in. So I'm going to have A of 3 is equal to A to the 3 minus 1 plus 6, right? So A of 3 is equal to A2 plus 6. But hey, wait a minute. We know A2, don't we? What's A2?
10.
10. So A of 3 is simply going to be 10 plus 6, which is 16. Okay, now what do you see? What do you see?
Plus 6.
And that's what the formula says, doesn't it? It says take the previous term. That's what this A to the n minus 1, take the previous term. So if I'm trying to make the 5th term, I'd take the 4th term. If I'm trying to make the 10th term, I'd take the 9th term and add 6 to it. If I want to find the 20th term, I'd take the 19th term and add 6. So I'm just adding 6, right? So then I'd have 22. I'd add 6, I get 28. I'd add 6, and I get 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. That's not that bad, is it? It's just a little confusing at first, but if you go through and go slowly and you're willing to make the terms, all of a sudden it becomes very obvious, okay? All right, let's look at example 2. So let's make the first 6 terms. So automatically, we know A1. So A1 is -2, comma, right? So if I want to make the next one, let's see what I do. So I'm going to take if I want to find A2, I'll use my formula. Okay, I'm going to use my formula, all right? Use my formula. So my formula says, okay, take A2, I want to find 3 times A minus 1. So that would be the A to the 2 minus 1 plus 5, right? Okay, if I want to make the second term, I let n be 2, so I put a 2 here, and I put 2 there, right? Because n is 2, right? N is 2, so I put 2 there, and I put 2 there, okay? How am I doing? So I'm just plugging in numbers, basically. So A of 2, then, is equal to 3 times A1 plus 5. But I know A1, right? I know A1. A1 is -2. So I'm going to go, okay, A of 2, then, is equal to 3 times -2 plus 5, which is a -6 plus 5, which is a -1. Okay, now to make A3. Okay, if I want to make A3, all right, A3 is going to be, let's see, it's going to be, I'm going to plug in 3, right? I'll plug 3 right there. I'm going to plug 3 right there, right? Plug 3 right there and 3 right there. So A3 is equal to a 3 times A to the 2 minus 1 power plus 5, right? A 3, my bad, 3 minus 1. So A3 is equal to 3 times A2 plus 5, right? But I know A2. A2 is -1, right? So I'm going to go, okay, A3 is equal to 3 times -1 plus 5, which is -3 plus 5, which is going to be A2. Now I don't see a pattern, right? I don't see a pattern at all. But here's what you got to know. We could do this the long way and get it. But let's be smart. I told you that A to the n minus 1 is the what? Previous term, right? Because if I want to make the 10th term, I'd take the 9th term. If I want to take the 4th term, I'd use the 3rd term. Well, I want to make the 4th term, right? I want to make the 4th term, so I take the 3rd term, which is 2. I'm going to multiply it by 2 and add 5. Let me say that again. So A to the n minus 1 is the previous term, okay? That's the case, all right? So if I want to make the 4th term, I'll take the 3rd term, I'll multiply it by 3, and then add 5. I'll say it one more time. If I want to make the 4th term, I'll take the 3rd term, which is 2, I'll multiply by 3 and add 5. So let's do that. So A4 is really going to be 3 times 2 plus 5, which is 11. If I want to make the 5th term, I'm going to take the 4th term, which is 11, right? I'm going to take okay, if I want to make the 5th term, I'll take the 4th term, which is 11. I'll multiply by 3 and add 5. Are you ahead of me? A5 then is 3 times 11 plus 5, 33, 36. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need one more. 38. My bad. Thanks. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you. So glad you guys are here. I heard 36. I just took it for granted. Okay. Now, think about this. If I want to make the 6th, okay, think about it, smart. If I want to make the 6th term, I'll take 3 times the 5th term, right? See how easy this is getting now? Yeah. And then I'll add 5. So I'm going to go to make the 6th term. I'll make 3 times my 5th term, which is 38, plus 5. Okay, let me use my calculator. I'm not going to believe anybody anymore. 38 plus 5, 119. Okay, what do you think? I like it. Sometimes kids get so confused on this, but it's worth me going and showing it the slow, methodical way before you, then you got it, right? Okay, ready to turn the page? Okay, turn the page. Okay, so now, this one's different, slightly different. F of 0, but it's still the same stuff, but written as a function, okay? Because really, when we graph these, remember when we graph these? Remember how we graph these? We got the dot, dot, dot. They were functions, right? So it's the exact same stuff, except for now it's in function notation, okay? F of 0, which really is A1, that's my first term, right? Is 4, that's my first term. So if I plug in 0, I get 4, but that's my first term. Now don't let that confuse you, okay? Okay, real quickly. F of 0 is 4. That's still my first term, because if you plug in 0, you get an answer of 4. Does that make sense? I have a first term. Okay? Then, to find anything, I'm going to take my, to make f of 1, I'd plug in f of 0 times 3. I'll say it again. If I want to make f of 1, f of 0 is 4. If I want to make f of 1, I'd take f of 0, which is 4, times 3. So I'm going to do it the slow way first and let you do it. Okay, if I want then f of 1, I'd be going 3 times f of 1 minus 1, right? My bad, there you go. So if I've got f of 0. If I want f of 1, I'd plug in 1 right there, right? Plug in 1 right there. So then I'd get f of 1 is equal to 3 times f of 0. But I know what f of 0 is. F of 0 is 4, right? So I'm going to go 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay? If I want to make f of 2, I'd take f of 1. I know what f of 1 is. Okay? And I multiply by 3. So I would go, okay, if I wanted f of 2, I'm just going to go 3 times my f of, this is my f of 0, f of 1, f of 2. So I take my f of 2. I take times 12 is 36. What am I doing each time? I'm just multiplying the previous term. I'm just taking the previous term, and I'm multiplying by 3. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking the previous term, multiplying by 3. So it's 3 times 36. I don't know.
108.
You're way ahead of me. I hope you're right, because if not, they're going to yell at me. And then 108. Take the previous term. 108 times 3, right? 324. Take the previous term and multiply times 3. Okay, times 3, and I get a 972. Okay? Thumbs up? Don't let this confuse you, okay? Worst case, go way back and just let n be 1, plug it in. Plug it in, and work it out, okay? That always works, okay? All right, example 4. Now let's do the opposite. Let's make something that looks like this. Okay, on the next example, we want this, like Jeopardy. We want this kind of equation. We'll need a first term, and we'll need a formula, okay? Or we want it to look like this. Here, let me highlight this. We want it to look like this. We need a first term, and we need a formula, okay? So example 4, write a recursive. So the very first thing we need is A1. You have to have A1. Need A1. Well, that's easy. A1 is 1. You guys agree? So right off the bat, I'm going to go A1 is 1, okay? What am I doing each time to get from here to here, to here to here? I'm adding 6. So I'm taking the previous term. So if I want to go a to the n, it's going to be a to the n minus 1 plus 6. That's my formula. I'm going to state, you have to state A1 in recursive formulas. I've stated, well, I know my first term is 1. And then what's going on? I'm taking the previous term and just adding 6 to it. Taking the previous term and adding 6 to it. I'm taking 7 and adding 6 to it. Then I'm taking 13 and adding 6 to it. I'm taking the previous term. Think about this as being the previous term. Okay, does that help? This is not that hard, is it? Cole.
Is the plus 6 part of the equation?
Yes. This is the entire answer. You want the whole thing. So we know we could start with 1, and to make the next term, we add 6 to it. To make the next term, we add 6 to it. To make the next term, we add 6 to it, okay? All right, example 5. So you need, to start off with, you need A1. You got to have A1. So what's A1? 2. So we're going to go, okay. A1 equals 2. All right, now you got 2 parts. You need the first term, and the second part we need a rule. We need A of n equals some rule, okay? So to make these formulas, you need to do this. Write that down, please. To make a formula, you need to write the first term. Boom. And then you need a rule. A of n equals, so what's going on from here to here to here? Times by 3, all right? That's my rule. So my rule is going to be A of n, to make any term, we're going to take my term, we're going to go and then multiply by 3 times the previous term, right? We're going to take 2 times 3, then 6 times 3. So the previous term is this A to the n minus 1. That's my previous term. Because if I want to make the 5th term, I take the 4th term. If I want to make the 10th term, I take the 9th term. You see how this works? If I want to make the 20th term, I take the 19th term, multiply by 3, okay? All right. How does that look? Okay, now real quick, let's look at page 217, okay?